Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you, my dear beautiful girls? Inshallah, today I'm going to explain Unit 2, Lesson 4, Weather and Climate. Of course, you know that the weather is very important and it affects our life greatly. Because when the weather is hot, we can wear special clothes and eat some kinds of food like ice cream. But when the weather is very cold, we wear different kinds of clothes, which is warm clothes, and we eat or drink hot drinks. So the weather affects our life greatly. It affects what we eat, what we do, and what we wear. But there is a difference. There are two words in geography. We have two words that are similar to each other. They are weather and climate. What's the difference between weather and the climate? I will tell you. For weather, when there is rain, we say the weather is rainy. When there is wind, we say the weather is windy. When there is a lot of sun, we say the weather is sunny. When there is wind, we say the weather is windy. So weather is conditions such as rain, snow, wind, or sunshine. So this is the weather. But what about climate? I will explain for you what is the meaning of the word climate. Climate is weather patterns of a place, but it's not weather. It is weather patterns of a place. For example, I will give you an example for a place like Saudi Arabia. If I'm talking about the weather in Saudi Arabia in the whole of the year, in winter, spring, summer, and fall. In the winter, what's the weather like in Saudi Arabia? It's cold. After winter comes what comes? There's a spring. How is the weather like? What's the weather like in spring in Saudi Arabia? It's warm. After spring comes the summer. In the summer, it's hot. After the summer comes the fall. In the fall, it's windy. So, in the whole of the year, the weather in Saudi Arabia like this. It's cold in winter, warm in summer, cold in winter, warm in spring, hot in summer, windy in the fall. And it's repeated again the next year. So the weather like this, cold, warm, hot, and windy. In the next year, again, cold in winter, warm in the spring, hot in the summer, windy in the fall. And it is repeated, cold, warm, hot, windy. The next year, cold, warm, hot, windy. And the next year, cold, warm, hot, windy. This is a repeated pattern. This is a repeated weather pattern. So this is the repeated pattern of Saudi Arabia in the whole of the year and year after year. We call this repeated weather pattern of a place, we call it climate. So the climate is different from the weather. The weather talks about the conditions maybe of today, of tomorrow, or after tomorrow, but the climate, the weather patterns that are repeated in a place over a period of time, like a whole year or a whole season. So if I ask you what is weather, you will say it's conditions like rain, snow, wind, or sunshine. And what's climate? You would say it is weather patterns of a place. The example is not important. The example is only to show you how it is a weather pattern that is repeated. And what about the weather forecast? All of us, or most of us, must listen to the weather forecast on TV or on the radio or look for it on the internet in order to get ready for the next day, because the weather forecast is a prediction that tells us what weather to expect. We usually listen to the weather forecast or watch it on TV in order to know what the weather will be like tomorrow. If it is rainy, we are going to get ready with our umbrellas. If it is cold, we will get ready by wearing cold clothes. If it's windy, we can cancel some of our trips or change our routine, or maybe we can postpone a trip that we are going to make by car or even by trip or so and so on. So you should understand and memorize these three definitions. What's weather, what's climate, and what is weather forecast. Here I have a question. In order for the scientists to make a weather forecast, to say what will the weather be like tomorrow, how do they know this? They must use weather tools. They use weather tools. In this lesson, we have only 4 or 5 tools or 5 weather tools that you should study and know. But there are more weather tools that scientists use in order to measure the weather and prepare weather forecasts. In our lesson, you have only 5 of them. You should know them, their pictures, and what do they are used for. The first one, this one is a picture of the barometer. The barometer is used to measure air pressure. The second picture is for rain gauge. It is used to measure rainfall. The next one is the wind sock. It is used to tell us the wind direction. The fourth one is the thermometer. It is used to measure temperature using the red line in the middle. The red line in the middle goes down when it's cold. It goes up when it gets hot. And the last one is a picture of the anemometer. The anemometer is used to measure wind speed. When it moves, if the speed of the wind is so high, it can move quickly like a fan, and the speed of the wind will be recorded down in this box. So after the scientists use all these 5 tools or more, they get and record the results and record or write them on papers, and then turn these readings into or put them on bar graphs like this. Look at this bar graph. This bar graph is an average monthly rainfall for January, June in the year 2014. Here down, we have the months January, February, March, April, May, and June. And here we have the rainfall. How much rain was collected or rained? How much did it rain in these months? In order to fill a bar graph like this about rain, which tool is used? Of course, the rain gauge. They leave the rain gauge out in the open air like this. It's a cup that is divided into millimeters. After the rain fell inside this cup and stopped raining, scientists take this rain gauge and take the reading. For example, in January, for most of the days, about between 40 and 50 millimeters of rain were collected here. So the amount of rain that filled this glass cup, the reading was between 40 and 50 millimeters. After they recorded this number, they put they put the reading like this, and for January they stop at between 40 and 50 and write or draw this bar. For February, about 60 or 70 millimeters were fell and filled the cup. In the month of March, about 40 millimeters fell to the cup. In April, most of the days, about 50 millimeters fell to the cup of the rain gauge. And so on for March, and so on for June. After they finish collecting the data or collecting the amount of rain from the rain gauge and they take the reading, they record the data they collected like this. Once you look at this bar graph, you can see in which months or which months had the most rain and which months had the least rain, and if there are no bars, it means in this month there was no rain at all. So like this, scientists can record the information that they got from using the weather tools, and with the help of these bar graphs they can expect how much rain would fall the next year or the next day. And this is for rain. And what about temperature? Of course, we use what to measure temperature? We use thermometers. This thermometer, the scientists use it to measure the temperature and start recording the information they got from the reading of the thermometer in a graph like this one. Look at this graph. At this time here, this is a high temperature week of November the 2nd in a country called Zailsfile. Look at this graph. Here, the days of the week are recorded: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and Saturday. Here, on this side, we have the temperature that was recorded. The temperature starting from 54 Celsius until 70 Celsius. This is a degree. We take the reading for this degree from the thermometer. For Sunday, the temperature was 66. On Monday, the temperature was more than 68. On Tuesday, the temperature was about more than 62. On Wednesday, the temperature was 60. On Thursday, the temperature was less than 60. On Friday, the temperature was more than 60. And on Saturday, the temperature was exactly 60. Once you look at these dots that show the temperature each day, you can guess which month or which day was the hottest today and which day was the coldest today. The coldest today means the one that has the least temperature, and the hottest today means the day that has the highest temperature, like this. Of course, scientists or geographers take the reading and measure the temperature using the thermometer and record the reading for the weeks, like this, week after week after week, month after month after month. They keep files for these graphs, and these graphs help them to prepare weather forecast and predict the weather for the next day. Of course, they use many other tools that help them know more and know best and make or prepare weather forecasts for us to get ready for the next day, whether by wearing special clothes or by making our plans for the future. I hope that you understand the lesson of today. This sheet is uploaded on Classera. I hope you are in good health all the time. Study well, do your homework, watch the videos. They are very useful and helpful to understand for a better understanding for the lessons. Thanks for being with me, and goodbye till we meet again.